One of the biggest mistakes I see people make when embarking on a software project is that they try to envisage the entire project at once. What that does is two main things. First of all, it requires you to know everything you're going to need for the next 9 to 12 months. It's going to require you to know everything your team is going to need for the next 9 to 12 months. And it doesn't take advantage of any learning that you're going to make during the software process, which means that all innovation is removed. It's purely restricted to those days or weeks of planning before you start the software project. That's dangerous, and it's the reason why most projects go over budget and over deadline. What the scope framework does is it guides you through an agile way of delivering software. And what an agile way of delivering software means is, instead of having an entire project, you know where you're headed, okay? You always know where you're headed. But instead of designing an entire software project up front, you say, okay, I've got this main assumption that this project is going to achieve this result. What is the minimum I need to build in order to prove that assumption right or wrong? So the software project is dramatically reduced in size and scale. But once you've proved that assumption, you've got a piece of software that works standalone. And then you say, so what's the next assumption? And you do the process again. So the scope framework actually is a series of iterations. At Remote, we work 2-week cycles doing these iterations. What do we need next? What's the next business priority? What's the next assumption we need to prove? And that dramatically reduces the risk on investment. And it means that your releases are much earlier and much safer and much more in line with what your customer actually needs or your team actually needs.